Hello. It's your girl Ree, and I am talking about what does it mean to show up for yourself. We keep hearing this topic, how important it is. So I want to give I guess a bit of my perspective on what exactly does that mean. So stay tuned and we will get right into it. Hey everyone, I am the author of this book, When Church Hurts. Get it everywhere books are sold. And we are back. So I did a post, to start off, I did a post on Instagram. And if you're not following me on there, be sure to follow me for her worth on Instagram. But I did a post, as I was saying, on Instagram. And I was talking about a time period where I was at one of my lowest points. I've been through a few low points, but going back to that place of just being low, there was a lot that was going on in my life. The whole world was in what was going on, and a lot of things were happening in my life, and I was really, really just depressed. To the point I had suicidal thoughts as well. So just a disclaimer, I won't get into that now, but definitely we'll talk about it. So in going through that, I remember that, I'm not living for myself. What would happen to me, if I were to do something to myself? What would happen to, for instance, my son? I do have a 14-year-old. He's going to be 15 soon. But he is an amazing child. Like, he is fabulous. I love him dearly. He's so cool. I might introduce y'all to him one day. We'll see how it goes. So going through that period, I realized, I got somebody looking up to me. I got someone waiting, dependent on me. And even with that being said, I also have been blessed to have some amazing group of friends, who are really, really amazing. And, one of my friends, when I was going through my moment, I was sharing with her, and she was saying, nah, I need you, and just hearing that allowed me to really think, there's a lot of people in this world who feel like they're alone, who feel like they're not loved, they're not needed, but I'm here to say that you are loved, you are needed. And even if no one's telling you that, I'm going to tell you that, because the fact that you're still on this earth, there's a reason, there's a purpose for you. And I just want to say that, because I know there's a lot of people who think that way. Even myself, I'm blessed to have lots of people around me, but there can be times where you just feel like, what's the point? But this is why I wanted to talk more about, ways to show up for yourself, because we keep hearing this talk, as I mentioned earlier, of showing up for yourself, but what does that look like even when you don't feel like it? So I have some points that I want to talk about briefly. I think I have 8 points that we're going to talk about, and yeah, let's share. So these are in no particular order. I'm not saying you have to go through one to follow all the way through, but there are just some points, my perspective of what showing up for yourself looks like. So point 1 that I wrote down is make a decision. You have to make a decision to show up. I know, it starts somewhere. And it starts with you probably getting a pen and a paper, a notebook, a journal, whatever, your phone, the notes in your phone, record yourself, whatever. Making that decision about how you're going to show up for yourself. What does that look like for you? Do you have clear goals set aside for yourself? How many people have been preparing their goals, preparing their lists, vision boards and whatnot. But what do you have written down? Are they clear? Are they concise? Do they align with, where you're trying to go in your life? Or are you just doing it because it's the thing to do, you know. So sit down and make a decision that, hey, this is what I'm expecting to accomplish. Or you could do the whole year if you like. You know, just sit down and make a decision like, hey, I am going to make a decision to, you name it. Point number 2. Take care of yourself. Commit to you, boo. Listen, we have only one life to live. And enough of this stressing and worrying, and I know, I get it. Life be life, and this earth is ghetto right now. Like, God, it's just ghetto. It's real ghetto. But take care of yourself. You know, what do you like? What's your self-care routine looking like? Do you need 8 hours of sleep? Are you okay with functioning with less than 8 hours of sleep? Do you take naps during the day? That type of thing. Other healthy lifestyle livings in your eating habits. You know, to be committed to taking care of yourself. Because once you're committed to taking care of yourself, then you can function on a different level, function on a higher level, function how you need to function on a daily basis. Period. And also that can include your spiritual, emotional, and your mental health as well. So taking care of yourself, we need to remember, include those pieces in our life as we're taking care of ourselves. Point number 3. Setting boundaries. No is a complete sentence. I'm going to say that again. No is a complete sentence. And oftentimes you may have to tell yourself no. Friends, family, you know. Also including scheduling time. So, you know, having a schedule for family time, time with your friends, time for yourself, time to work hard. Have a set schedule in place and stick to it. When it comes to setting boundaries, we want to have clear, concise boundaries that are in place. It also helps your peace as well. Everyone's so big on, you know, protecting their peace, having peace, but how are you going to have peace in your life if your life is chaotic and there's nothing set or structured and you're just all over the place? There's no peace in that. Set boundaries, y'all. And don't be afraid to voice your boundaries, because a lot of times we set boundaries and, you know, we allow people, or we allow, okay, let me just give in. No. Be consistent to what you say and stick to. That's the only way people will take you seriously, if you take yourself seriously. So set them boundaries. Trust me, it works. All right, yeah. So number 4. Number 4 can go kind of hand in hand with taking care of yourself and your peace. And number 4 is stop caring what other people have to say. Listen, people be peopling, okay? People are always going to have something to say, whether good, bad. No matter what you do, people are always going to have a comment, something. You have to really develop thick skin and not care. As I like to say, who don't like it can't bite it, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Stop caring what people have to say and just do what is best for you. You know, we're all on a path. You know, God has given us all a vision. God has given us all a purpose. God has given us all direction, and we all have something that we're working towards. You know, if you stop and listen to what negative Nancy's and negative whoever's have to say, is going to stop you. And we don't want that. Tomorrow's not promised. Life is short as it is, and we want to make sure we live and give it all that we got. Well, just take time for yourself to figure out yourself. And I really hope that you can get over whoever is struggling with what people say. You're afraid to make a post, you're afraid to speak, you're afraid to do whatever it is, and because of you're afraid of someone's comment. You know what? People are gonna comment about everything, and you just gotta step forward and just do what you know you're gifted in, do what you know you're called to do, and just do it. You know, a lot of times people are just talking negative because they're hidden jealousies or something in them that's off, and you have the guts to step out and do that thing that they're afraid to do, but yet you're doing it, but yet, you know, they're in the background, have all this talk, but yet you're making moves. So continue to make moves and stop caring what people have to say. Okay. Alrighty, we are on number 5. Number 5 is don't be hard on yourself, but be hard on yourself. Let me explain. A lot of times we are extremely hard on ourselves, and I know we are our worst critics, and that's not a bad thing, but it becomes an issue when you are so hard on yourself that you start to speak negatively about yourself or about your situation or about what you did that may have been a mess up or whatever. So when I say be hard on yourself, yes, if you know you're supposed to do something and you didn't complete it, you know, be like, hey, Bree, for instance, you know, you said you were going to do this and you didn't do it. You need to be on the ball, be on the, you know, stay on routine, stay on schedule, stay on with what you're going to do and get it done. You know what I mean? No more being lazy, no more procrastinating. Shame on you for doing that. Definitely self-talk and encourage yourself. Don't beat yourself up though. If you were not able to complete a task in the day that you had set before you, or something happened and you weren't able to, you name all the excuses. Don't beat yourself up and put yourself in a rut and have a woe is me pity party for like 24 hours and mope around, and then you completely get nothing else done. You don't want to be there, because that's gonna just, you won't do anything if you do that. So encourage yourself, yes. Don't be in a pity party for too long. Yeah, we have our moments when we're just like, darn, you know, yes, woe is me type of thing, but don't remain there. Get up and keep it moving. Learn from your mistakes. Everything that we experience in life, that we've gone through, we lived through, the good, bad, the ugly, you name it, it all is a lesson to help us to step towards a greater goal for ourselves, or step towards greater within us. You know, it's all to build us. So be hard on yourself, but don't be hard on yourself. Hope that makes sense. All right, number 6, commitment and stay consistent. Okay, we started off strong. We're making the decision, but you gotta make the commitment to complete every task that you have. So whatever you wrote down, whatever you recorded, whatever you're looking at, whatever you are saying that you're doing, be committed to doing that. If it is, hey, you want to post daily. If it's going to the gym twice a week, go to the gym twice a week and do it. Sometimes we start, how many times, I think it's funny when you speak to individuals in the gym, like one of my trainers, they always talk about, you know, January is always the month where you would see in the gyms, you know, start of January, it is packed. And then by like, not even like for that far into a couple of months in, like I'm gonna say by February, March, it's like, where did everybody go? So you want to stay consistent. You want to make the commitment that if it is, you know, I'm gonna go to bed early at night, which is something that I put on my list to do, is going to bed earlier so that I can wake up earlier. It starts little by little, and there's a book called Atomic Habits you guys need to read if you haven't read it already. But it just talks about the, getting into habit, getting into routine, and how long it takes. And it's a really amazing book, and I recommend it. Great book. But you have to start somewhere, but the point is just start and challenge yourself too. That's a way to stay committed and be consistent, challenging yourself. And even if you have to bring in an accountability partner, do so. Sometimes it's best to get someone outside of your friend group, because maybe they may slack off on you a little bit. But if you got, listen, I have one of my best friends. She is one of my accountabilities, and she'd be like, hey, you said you're gonna do this, what's going on? I have other people checking in on me if they don't see me posting for a while. They'd be like, you good? What's up? I don't see you doing this. You said you're gonna do this, so what's going on? So it's always good for people to follow up on you. And when people do follow up, if you have them as your accountability, don't ignore the phone calls, don't ignore the email, the meetings you set up. Just don't. Ownership goes back on you too, as much as you may have accountability, but you have to be accountable to yourself, sticking to what you say you're going to do, because in the long run, time is ticking. And as you can see, we are the months already moving, so that says a lot. Well, here is point number 7. Show up for yourself like you would show up for others. A lot of times we give our all to other people and we just give ourselves very small. Yes, it is better to give than to receive. However, in saying that, you don't want to give your all, and who's taking care of you? Who's catering to you? A lot of times, especially if you're like myself, who like to give and like to support and like to encourage and like to help and just do all of that to other people, we often forget ourselves and neglect ourselves, or give ourselves bare minimum, and then we're just so weak and it's just, there's nothing left in us. So I want you to really show up for yourself like you do for others. It's okay to put me first. It really is okay to put yourself first, and there's nothing wrong with that. Self-love is the best love, and it is okay. And we're at the end pretty much. So we're at point number 8, language. What are you speaking about? What are you speaking about over your life and over your plans, over your desires, over everything? And who is speaking into your life and over your life? What are you saying daily? It is important to have a healthy language, have positive affirmations, declarations, speaking life in and throughout your life. Having people as well who share the same value system as you, that will encourage you, that will speak life into and over all that you're doing. You don't want people coming in and like negativity, and no, we don't want that. We want to be able to show up confidently, knowing that you can and you will, and all things are possible. We want to wake up knowing that you have the ability to accomplish all that you set forth for yourself. And that also begins with language and your self-talk and what you're speaking to yourself on a daily basis. So, language, y'all. I hope these tips were helpful. These are just some perspectives. Some of my perspectives. Again, there are no particular order. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion about it. What are some the ways that you show up for yourself? What do you do? What do you use? Thank you for viewing, and I'll see you in our next video.
Thank you for viewing. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, and stay tuned for more.